You might think this looks so only from my perspective, but let me tell you, this is the essence of the regime. They have been explicit about it. Hello, the situation cannot be more complicated than it is now. 21-hour peace talks between the US and Iran in Pakistan was unsuccessful. Despite this, according to Axios, mediators such as Egypt, Turkey, and Pakistan will try to reduce the gaps between both sides in the coming days and pave the way for an agreement before the ceasefire ends on 21st of April. Iran's nuclear ambition was reported as the US red line in the 21-hour talks in Islamabad, as it cannot tolerate giving rights to Iran to enrich uranium, because what Iran is gonna do with it? They may generate electricity with it, yes, but what else other than nuclear bombs? Even imagining this terrorist regime having nuclear missiles is beyond my ability. President Donald Trump threatens Iran's fast attack ships with immediate elimination if they came near their blockade. At the same time, President Trump told the reporters that Iran was seeking to make a deal very badly. On the other hand, according to CNN, China's foreign minister Wang Yi said blocking Iranian ports doesn't serve the world's common interests and called on the international community to intensify its efforts to promote peace talks in meeting with other senior diplomats. China's protest to the US blocking Iranian ports is at a time when, according to sources like CNN again, Beijing is set to deliver new air defense systems to the Islamic Republic. CNN's information indicates that Iran may use the ceasefire as an opportunity to complete some weaponry systems with the help of its key foreign partners. Let me very shortly tell you when all of this went wrong. What has been the main cause of the US miscalculation in this regard? Once an advisor to Barack Obama, a year or so before Iran's 2015 nuclear deal to be reached, published an article, if I'm not mistaken, in the New York Times predicting Iran's state behavior if it had nuclear weapons, nuclear bombs. In fact, what it was suggesting became the subject of an article of mine published in Kurdish and Persian prints at that time. The idea behind the New York Times article came as a big surprise to me. The advisor to Obama suggested that if Iran had nuclear weapons, it would act like any other nuclear country in the world. It couldn't use it, and even it would probably make it a more conventional state that behaves like other states. In fact, producing these kinds of false analysis was the big mistake. They couldn't see that Iran had always threatened the world, threatened to annihilate Israel and to destroy the United States of America, funneled money into terrorist groups, and took Westerners hostage, attacked embassies, and on and on and on. If you ask me, we can point to negligence as the main source of the trouble here. All of this originates from an ability to define an imminent threat, not knowing what should be addressed first. When your enemy see you're unable to make a clear distinction between what is strategy and what is tactic, you have to expect them to build their power upon that miscalculation, imposing their conditions on you and bullying you. This was exactly the big mistakes the countries of the West, especially the United States, did in terms of Iran. This misreading of the situation and providing wrong analysis was exactly what upon which the mullahs of Tehran put their long-term strategy of defeating the West. Let's face it, the US previous administration didn't have the gut to think of a strategy to tackle the problem of Iran forever. One may argue that the United States hasn't been alone in this journey. Many factors, including their alliance with the European countries, made it impossible for the US to invest in a regime change or to do something effective. Put it simply, if they had known how monstrous Iran was, they would have acted differently. Now, do you think Donald Trump will let Iran go? I don't think so. Is Trump gullible too, like his predecessors? Can the United States still lack an effective strategy to deal with Iran? I don't think it is the case. The US is open to a ceasefire in my mind, but only on one condition: if Iran surrenders fully, and it has to start with giving up all its enriched uranium. The terrorist regime of Tehran shouldn't be tolerated at all. Yes, sometimes they look normal. They talk. They participate in peace talks. They acknowledge others' rights. They're ready to free the Westerners they have taken hostage, like two French hostages they freed a week ago. In exchange for what? You'd better guess it. The Iranian regime is ready to do all of this if one condition is met, which is their dominance over the most part of the Muslim world, the Middle East. This is their ambition in the short term, but in the long term, they want their ideology to prevail all over the world. You might think this looks so only from my perspective, but let me tell you, this is the essence of the regime. They have been explicit about it. As in Iran's constitution, jihad is explicitly described as one of the main duties of the Iranian military forces. Do you know what this Iranian jihadist purpose of going to Pakistan to participate in the peace talks was? Hamid Reza Hajbabari, the deputy speaker of the Majlis, which is the Iranian parliament, a non-democratic Sham Islamic model parliament, told the reporters that Iran had sent its people not for negotiations but for a soft war, to struggle in the field of diplomacy. Their aim was to make the United States to surrender. See you next time.